Hello, my friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Back again. Here we go. We got some pretty serious stuff going on.
Yeah, it's crazy out there, as you know. Actually, what we're looking at here is not actually in D.C. at all. There's reports of Georgia and Kansas Capitol buildings being stormed as well by protesters. Now, in Kansas, apparently it is peaceful. Anyway, I'm not sure about Georgia yet. There's so much going on here, guys. So much going on here, and everything is bogging down because, we're watching history unfold, and I think it's just the internet is overwhelmed right now, so things are stopping and starting and having a hard time connect to certain news services like Fox has been cutting out constantly.
I know, I'm looking at this and wow, I think there are a lot of people like us who are at home watching this unfold too, and that's partly why we're not getting really smooth service. I hope that, I'm really kind of concerned that we could have a little bit of a communications failure though.
Yeah, when you have the chaos unfolding right now, and then you have people all of a sudden cut off from knowing what's going on next, that is going to be something that can cause a lot of angst and anxiety. So, we see an explosive device found at the RNC, the Republican National Committee, and the DNC was evacuated as well. So, this is real, and as I've said before, that we knew that this day was going to be explosive and also had the potential to be, well, explosive in a physical way. Besides just everybody, going crazy, storming the buildings, the chaos, actually there being perhaps exactly what we see here. Because as we said before, this is so much, as we know, a telegraph script in so many ways. We listened to the president-elect, and I thought I was almost listening to a replay of GW, George Bush the first, Papa Bush. Felt like the same energy, felt like the same vibe coming through. Every time we've seen chaos, then the ensuing lockdowns just increasingly get worse and worse and worse.
They do, and people are just so fed up. They're literally at the end of their ropes. They're at their wits' ends. They need change. And, I'm just wanting positive change. Whatever that change looks like, there needs to be honesty and trust in the system.
So, MSNBC is just saying breaking Democratic Party will win control of the Senate. As we were talking about the election over in Georgia, which is another thing of contention. Contention. And before we go away from this whole item here, again, those of you that have read 1900, The Last President, those of you that have seen Designated Survivor, foreshadowing, or is it another case of that predictive programming like The Simpsons? When you get down to it, as we've said before, these powers that be often, things are telegraphed way in advance.
Well, they do their very best to keep us confused, keep us in chaos, keep us locked in fear.
They sure do. And everybody, again, will send out the positive vibes. I just feel like this is an avalanche that can't be stopped, really. It's got to kind of run its course one way or another. And as we were saying, it's time to agree to disagree. It's time to find ways of going to a different place, because if you listen to like what's coming out of CNN right now and some others, it's going to make a lot of people nauseous because they seem to think that things are going to go as they're supposed to go, but it's not going to happen that way. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to get these people that are all riled up now to just calm down, go home, and just give it up. It ain't going to happen. And President Trump came out and made a speech basically asking for people to go home. He did mention again his opinion on what happened. And of course, seeing the mainstream news report on that, all they saw was the speech being more incendiary. Here we see MSNBC airs woman covered in blood carried out of Capitol on a stretcher amid pro-Trump protests and chaos. And there's the Virginia State Police are en route to help. National Guard being called up as well. Tons of politicians making statements to just please calm down.
I know we have so much going on, and Mike's right, people are not just going to just put their stuff down and go home. I mean, people have moved mountains to get where they're at, from the place that they were, and they're not just going to lay down things and go home until there's some type of change. So we can expect more escalation, I'm afraid. I am working on going into a trance today to try to reach Laurel. But energies are so high. It's so difficult for me to calm down. It's going to take a lot of mantras, but I'm still going to try because I'd like to know a little more about, where things are going, what exactly is going to happen.
Yeah, and we'll communicate that with you guys as soon as we get it. Again, this is what we've been talking about, and it's exactly going down as the Galactics have told us. Mm-hmm. They said it's going to look like he is gone, meaning the current president, but it's not the case. And in fact, when you look at the Vedic astrology, he ends up in a much more powerful position than he was before. Now, whether that's over 50 states, maybe it's over 15, maybe it's over 25, 40, maybe it's 4 different regions split up. We don't know. We really don't know right now. And some will probably say, well, it's probably the FEMA regions. But I think this is going to kind of just, set all that into a complete sense of disarray. Everything is getting rewritten right now.
It really is. And, I just want things to go smooth. I don't want to see people get hurt. There's a lot of people that need to go to the grocery store still. They need to go see their doctors. They need to be able to move and be mobile to, just function. And I just want to see everybody safe.
Oh boy. So yes. So guys, we will keep you updated as we go, and curious to see what's going to happen as that reports of Kansas and Georgia having their capitals. With the reports were swarmed and etc. But what we saw in Kansas looked very peaceful. Yes, they are in the Capitol building, the protesters. They are inside. But it did look peaceful. A lot of times when you see things go on, as we know, things get crazy at night. So as it's about 4:38 as I'm doing this over in the east, it should be getting dark in another hour or two. And we'll see what that looks like. And we'll also see if, just how many people do leave. After all, so many people came in by plane. So many people drove hours. I don't see it just backing off in any way, shape, or form.
No, there's people that came from around the world. People drove for in some cases, days to get there. So, no, I don't think they came with a backup plan to just simply go home because someone said so.
So, yeah, you have the National Guard, you have state troopers all en route right now. There'll be definitely a heavier policing presence that will be there as we head into nightfall. Again, there's politicians making comments everywhere. And of course, the vast majority are just, saying to calm down. You see Lindsey Graham, those who made this attack on our government need to be identified and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Their actions are repugnant to democracy. There's definitely been a lot of repugnant actions to democracy that we have witnessed. And as you see, Trump tells the supporters to go home. And we see that they have been in the Capitol building. And so, again, I'm curious if there will be any more explosive action to come. And interestingly enough, Mike Pence has unfollowed
Yeah.
President Trump on Twitter. So that's something that's curious as well.
What about that crack in the foundation? Anyhow, that's going to be a big deal.
Well, I know there's a lot of people out there saying, see, we knew who number 2 worked for.
Yes, we knew. We did know.
Yes. All will be revealed in this great apocalypse, guys. As always, thanks for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Make sure you are subscribed. Stay prepared. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.